and we are live.
Acting foolish, overdressed, confusing the crowd. You won't see me at this bar again. Happy hour habits, lost my feet on the ground. Whiskey 7 on my cardigan. Last night, stained in my clean slate. And I got nothing but enemies.
Coming to you live from the great state of Wisconsin is the Overdue Sports Team. I am your host, Will Massa. To my right, as always, is my co-host, Jake Sawinski. We're doing our weekly recap show. Kick us off, Jake. How's your week been?
Oh, really bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was awful. I was down every day but one. Thought Thursday was like okay, it flipped. Here we go. No, Friday and Saturday were duds as well. Pretty disappointing. But I typically don't do well in February, March for whatever reason, which is very frustrating because it's like college basketball is both of our favorites to bet on, and we like to have you like to win money on the things you're betting that are your favorite, and when they don't happen, it's very very frustrating. But we'll get into it. How about you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's been a really, really bad week on the hardwood for me. It's actually been a really bad stretch. I've said this probably more times than I can count. I'm beating a dead horse. It's been a bad month for me. Um, Hopefully today is the turnaround. I am 2-2 as we sit currently with Samford -2.5, Drexel -4.5, Iowa +1.5, and Texas State +12.5 the rest of the day. So hopefully I can pick up a winning day and maybe tides will turn as we head into conference tournaments. But yeah, I mean, no sugarcoating it. It's been bad.
Yeah, tough sledding. Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. For example, it was so bad this week. Let me look at my last 7. I was 30, 48, and 1. Ouch. It's a 38% clip, folks. That's not profitable. That's not.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
that's what I did in college basketball. Obviously, I still have some action rolling, so this might be better. But as we stand right now with 4 games in action or about to happen, 12 and 20, which is 38%. So it is rough sledding this week on the hardwood. However, I did I'm a relatively high volume in college basketball. Definitely not as much as you, but I think I've got nearly 600 bets in college basketball this year. I'm approaching that number. Actually, probably a little closer to 500. I'm like 210 and 200 or something like that.
I wouldn't even know.
Not the same. NHL not the same. I'm pretty low volume, but 2-1 on the ice this week for almost 2 units. So hit some good dogs this week. I know you had a couple good dogs this week too. So
Yeah, but that was about it. I mean, I was pretty bad. I was close in a lot of them. I got told I'm fading you from Jim. We love you though, Jim. I'm just busting your balls a little bit. That was a tough one. Like Edmonton snuck out an overtime win against Boston. The Sabres played real tight with the Maple Leafs. A couple of the losers I had were really close. Like they weren't bad looks by any stretch, but the end of the week I was pretty bad. Played the Red Wings last night. They had some fight as well, but I think they just gave up a late one and the empty net. So it looked a little further off than it was. Like they were down 2-0 early, had some fight. The Wild I played Friday night, 1-1 for like a majority. It was tied a majority of the game, lost in overtime. That was one. It was so juicy. I should have just played the 1.5 with it. It's like -120. Would have been a smarter play. Totals I haven't been good on, even though I thought I made some good reads. Toronto and Boston, they played last week. It was like 4-1. I was like, that over looks a little low again. I kind of like this one to go over. 4-1. The only thing was it opened at 6.5 and went down to 6. So maybe that was like the tell. It actually moved down, so maybe stay away from it. I was debating it, but I decided to go with it. That didn't work. I kind of stayed away from the totals. I wasn't very good on them, so I didn't bother. Like I did one on Monday or Tuesday. It was like 2-1. Did over 6.5. Just was never close. So I do a little more volume than you do, Will, but it hasn't been much better. I've been pretty consistently bad. And like we don't talk about the NBA very much. That was the one thing I was like profitable in, like 1.9 units. Like it was seriously horrible week. Really horrible week.
Yeah, and the thing for me, man, is like this past week, my losers in college basketball like really were not that close. Like I had a couple rough ones in there. Like Villanova was close yesterday, but they kind of got dusted in the
Yeah,
first
that
half.
was a
But like,
lucky like that one like when I'm thinking about my bets or reviewing the losers, because I mean, most of the time you don't review a winner because you're like, who cares? It won, right? Like
yeah,
you're not gonna really overanalyze something that actually worked out for you, but you overanalyze or analyze the losers, and I usually kind of I don't know if you have the same kind of process, but like you look at your losers and they kind of fall into a few different categories, right? Like, was it close at all? No. Yes or no? Like, was it a good look and it didn't work out? Yes or no? Or was it one that ended up being close but probably had no business being hitting, but you kind of got like it was lucky to look that good? Yes or no? Right? Villanova fell into that last one for me yesterday because we were recording with Trevor doing the Big 12, Big 10, and Pac 12 preview. If you haven't watched that yet, check it out. He's got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to college basketball. Um, they were down like 32-8, like 10 minutes into the game, and then they fought like hell to get back into it. And I think there was a tough foul call with like zero point 0.2 seconds left. So, like, yeah, that's tough. Might have gotten unlucky because it's like, hey, maybe sneak one out in overtime, but typically it doesn't work that way. Usually dogs go to die in overtime. But that's one where I'm like, it's hard to get mad. Like that like had no business even being close, anyways, based on how the game started. Would have been nice, but sometimes that's just how it shakes out. So I don't know if you have the
yeah,
same kind of
that's.
idea.
I mean, yeah, that's really been the story of my week. Like my winners and losers, like really haven't been close. Like Villanova, they dressed it up, but they were never really in that game. Um, some of the worst losers were like Oregon State +9 yesterday. We were both on that. Like
Yeah, that was never
they got
close.
punked right from
That
the
was
jump. I had Monmouth +9.5 today. They lost by 20 plus. Um, Louisville +8 earlier in the week against Virginia Tech. Like they
was on
got
that one too.
smoked. Yep.
Yeah, and we talk offline about it. Like typically when we're on the same things, it doesn't fare well. Like we
No.
kind of have a little bit where we like respect each other's coin, and like we have a little gambling group that we talk about some things, on and off or whatever. But typically it leads with me. I'll get mad at someone for like tailing my bet. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, leave my money alone. But sometimes it works out. Most of the time, it does not. Like, you know how you see on Twitter people do squad rides? Yeah, we don't. They don't work. Like,
No,
I
not
think
in
we've
college
hit.
basketball, anyways.
I think we hit one, and it was like the
We hit
first
Georgia
game of the
Southern.
year. No,
We hit
no,
Georgia
no. Oh,
Southern
that
this
one,
week.
like, we didn't. Well, the other guy in our group ended up betting on USA. He
Yeah.
snuck bet it, and that didn't work for him. But like,
No.
we made a good look. But I think like when we're all on one team, it happened once. We all bet Oregon -8, like the first game of the year, and like
Yeah, it
we're
was
like, oh,
literally
maybe
day
we
one.
can do it in this sport. Nope, we can't.
Yeah.
But
Same with the winners
yeah,
though. My winners really were not sweaty at all. Like a couple winners that I had that were like I had Longwood +3.5 today. They won by 20. Um, Texas State yesterday +6. They won outright. Texas A&M +1.5. We were both on yesterday. They won by 26. Yeah, like it's just been like I had Toledo -2 minus or earlier in the week. They won by 34. Like it's just been a frustrating week because like yeah, sure it's nice to like check the score at the first half and be like, all right, that's dead. Let's move on. It's frustrating because it's very obviously like glaringly not the right side. And that makes me
yeah.
more upset than
It's more
the
of a
bad beats.
It's more of a handicapping and selection process than more so like chalking it up to the game, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at some of my losers throughout the week. Um, NC State and Duke, I thought was a good look, but a lot of people that I follow were on that, and that wasn't necessarily like a bad handicap. It was kind of a short line. They played with them for 30 to 40 minutes, but that one kind of got away. Um, Incarnate Word +4, like that's on me. Like, why are you doing that? There's no reason to bet on Incarnate Word for any reason. Under 138.5, Idaho State and Montana. They finished with 59 points in the first half and scored 90 in the second half. So, like, what are you going to do? Looking at some of the winners, who can change it up a little bit, even though there's more red than green on here. Ball State, Ballsack, that was a good look. I mean, that was fairly easy. They were kind of winning the whole time. Cincinnati, that one was a little stressful. They played Oklahoma. Like, they were winning most of the game. They kind of gave up the lead late, but they held on. Old Dominion, Texas State over, free. Nevada, Boise State over. I think that was Tuesday night, free. Seton Hall, oh, they played Villanova. I think on the conference preview show I was talking about that game. I thought they played a Butler, but they played Villanova, another blue team. But that one was fairly easy, like after the first 10 minutes. Arkansas -4 against LSU. Good read. I mean, Georgia Southern, like you already alluded to. Coastal, I bet ULL in Sun Belt tournament. Then I got on a good stretch. Like I bet Wisconsin -10 against Rutgers, Manhattan +9 against Iona, won outright. Washington 6.5 against Washington State. I know you were on the other side. That was very unfortunate. Then Friday, I was making some good reads too. Under in the Radford High Point game. Hampton +3. William and Mary -6.5. Thursday, I do want to highlight. I had them like the most hysterically bad losers ever. And it was ironic because that was the one day of the week I was actually up. Listen to these Thursday bets. They were atrocious. All right. So that was the day. It started with the Sun Belt tournament. Georgia Southern +2.5. Okay, good look. Right, short line. Georgia Southern's been bad all year, and South Alabama isn't much better, but like they're okay, right? So like that's a glaringly bad line. Over 139.5 in Missouri State and Murray State. They had 41 points at halftime. That was never close. I think Murray State shot like 8%. Like it was horrible. Valpo and Belmont over 156.5. That one doesn't look so bad. Like 86 and 61 to 147. Oh, you missed that by 9. Well, they were down 26 at halftime. Like, there's no way that's hitting. Right, unless Belmont completely stops. It's like then you buy some free throws, but like if Belmont's not scoring and the lead's getting shorter, it's not like Valpo's going to shoot 100% in the second half. So like that one wasn't really close either. But then the doozy, Pacific +10. They lost by 59. 5-9.
With 9 points.
They got doubled up. They got like one and a third doubled up. Like one, you say doubled up, but like they lost by 1.33 more points, times more points than they had. That's insane. I've never seen a loss that bad ever.
Like to Pepperdine, nonetheless. Not like Pepperdine. It's not like it's Gonzaga.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. I fucking hate Pepperdine. I got my revenge the next night though. San Diego beat them. That was cool. But yeah, like then Thursday night into Friday, I was making some good looks like throughout the day. Like it kind of just snowballed for me in college basketball yesterday. Like I bet you if I were to look before yesterday and today, like I was probably a little flat or down a little bit. Like nothing like crazy, but like I fell apart yesterday. And I didn't start that way. I hit FAU and Brown, and then Texas A&M and Texas Tech. Otherwise, it's all into Lobos. Otherwise, just gave it all away. So it was a little long-winded for some of my bets, but like there was more red. It was just like none of them were close, and it was mostly on me, which is super frustrating because like it's one thing to say like, hey, I made a good look and it didn't work, but like there's no need to continue doing that. There's no need to continue like ramming your head against the wall betting on bad teams because the line's wrong. Like I'm a little stubborn when it comes to that. It's like just pivot away from doing that. Like bet on a Power 5 game where that is the case, you know. Like there's no need to bet Oral Roberts +6.5 and watch them not score for half of the first half. Like there's just no need to do that. It's totally self-inflicted.
Yeah, that's really how mine has been in college basketball. Like the losers have just been 100% on me, which is far more frustrating. Like I had a couple bad beats, like Radford +11 was like
Well,
annoying.
I wouldn't call that a bad beat.
No,
Like,
they got
yeah,
whacked in
it's
the
just a
second half.
tale of two halves. Yeah, like
Yeah,
when I say bad beat, it's more so like at the end of the game, the number is super in play to either way, and you're on the wrong side of it in a
yeah,
hilariously, unfortunately bad fashion. Like, not trying to say you shouldn't be irritated about it because, like you said, they were winning at halftime, and then they just the little sisters of the poor come
yeah.
out in the second half.
They got
Yeah.
smoked in the second half. Like
Yeah.
that game was dead at the 15-minute mark, so it was just one of those things where you just like laugh, like holy shit! Like I cannot believe that they just did that.
Well, it's better than being over at the 19-minute mark in the first half.
That's true. That is true.
Like Pepperdine was down 32-2. They were trending on Twitter for being the worst team to ever exist in the history of fucking ever.
That
Oh man.
reminded me. Do you remember that Old Dominion game last year around this time? Um, they did the same thing. It may have been in the conference tournament. I remember I bet on that game, and ODU had like 12 points in the first half, and I was like, "This is fake." Like it was just like one of those like where you just it's so dead early. It's like unfathomably bad.
I got some logic for you though. You ready? 12 is more than 9. 12 is more than 9. I've like there's been some bad ones, I know. I think I remember betting on Loyola Marymount last year against Gonzaga, and they lost by like 45. I've done that before. Like, you just never right, but never that bad. I've never had a team lose by like 15 more than they actually scored. And it's not like they
Crazy.
scored 8 points. It's not like the final score was like 23-10, like, an NBA Finals game in 1947. Like, it was just
With no shot clock, and they just pass it around.
yeah,
Like
exactly. Like, it was
you ever seen the
insane.
movie? You ever seen the movie Hoosiers? Great basketball movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who
Fantastic
hasn't?
movie. It's yeah, like based on a true story, but like that team that won that state championship, like the final score in the state championship game was like 12-8. Like they scored like 2 buckets in the first half and then they ran out the clock because there was no shot clock. Like that
Yeah,
game was like
yeah. It wasn't one of those. They just got
no, it
blitzed,
wasn't like the
and
miracle. It
yeah,
was
no, it was crazy. Like, that's one you laugh at. Like, you can't. You just have to laugh. Like, hey, it happens. Like, it's the equivalent of betting on a team that loses 8-0 in hockey. It happens. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Or
it
like,
does.
hey, I bet the under in the Wild Canucks game 2 weeks ago. The
Yeah, no,
final score was 10-7. Like, it happens. Like, doesn't always work, but yeah, that one was glaringly bad. But
yeah.
I don't know if you have any other notable ones you want to discuss on college
Um,
basketball, but
Not
I've
in college
made
basketball,
yeah,
no.
I've
I had
made
a
fun of myself enough.
Yeah, me too. I had a good week in college baseball. Got the ship right this week. I was 4-4 for a unit. Finally won today. Had some rough beats in there. Yesterday specifically, Virginia giving up 14 runs between the seventh and eighth innings with a
That's
9-run
tough.
lead.
Yeah, sounds
Frustrating,
like
but
Edgewood College.
it was not a fun meltdown to experience. But we got the ship right today. One today, one on the week, so I can't really complain there. It's been a slow start, but long term it'll be a good year. Yeah, that was really like the sport I was good in this week. I mean, hockey, I did win a little bit in hockey, but like I said, only 3 games that I played. So, and 2 of them were in one day. I swept on Monday of this week and hardly played the rest of the week. So that's kind of how I approach hockey. Like typically, I look at the slate every day, but I'll only play it if there's something that's really sticking out to me, which is every handful of days.
Yeah, I typically try to find 1 to 3.
Yeah,
The weekends I take it a little lighter just because the bulk of my betting is going to college basketball,
college
and I took
basketball.
the day
Yeah,
off. Yeah, like I've got like 2,000 college basketball bets in the last 2 years. I bet a lot. The volume better, but it's just yeah, I've been very frustrated. So, um, got a YOLO 3 unit play because it's the remainder of my balance on the over in Iowa and Illinois, and Illinois is going to win probably. I know you're on Iowa, but I'm sorry. Like,
I am.
I have no reason to believe you are going to turn it around in one day. I just don't. I hope they do though. I hope Iowa wins 99
Cool.
to 98, but it's probably going to be like 70-52 or something stupid. just because that's kind of the week it's been.
Yeah, I could see it.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but like when you're having a bad week, do you just like feel like a weight has been lifted on Monday when the week is over?
It depends. It honestly, it depends how Monday goes. And like my last 2 weeks have been really, really bad. And on Monday, like my Mondays have also been bad. And so it's just like compounding.
I
Who knows?
get
Maybe
that.
day
Like
to
Monday,
day. But
yeah, Monday is so important to like if you have a good Monday, your headspace is so much better. But
yeah,
like even before, like if I had a bad week and Sunday's done, I pay them and I'm all, like I do a pretty good job of flushing it for a few hours, and then like you said, like if Monday's bad, then you're kind of like in the same spot,
yeah.
but like eager to get it back, right? But like if you had a bad week, Saturday rolls around, you're just defeated. You're just like, what am
That's
I
been my last two. And
doing?
my Saturday card, like I bumped it back up this weekend where like my volume has actually been pretty low the last 3 weeks. I picked it back up this week and it's been like better because I feel like when I've got 2 or 3 plays, I'm going like 0-3. But if I have 7, I'm at least like
You'll
three and
go two
four.
and four, two and
Yeah,
five, yeah.
at least my bad days, like there is a little bit of green instead of just going 0-3. And
hmm Yeah, I don't know. I get to a point every year where like I think it's consistent with every sport. Like I know everyone goes through cold spells, right? They'll go through a little bit of a slump in each sport they bet, but like it seems consistent. Like every year I go through a stretch that's so gut wrenching that I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next sport. Which is sad, but I'm ready to bet some baseball.
yeah, I'm in with that. I was actually looking at it last year. This exact thing happened to me last year. I was like, I wasn't good last year early, but I was better. And then we hit like late January and it just tanked through the rest of the year. And that was like the end. So hopefully March Madness is a little bit nicer to me this year, but who
Yeah,
knows?
like the same thing happened to me last year as well, but it wasn't as like it this time around it wasn't as bad. Like I had some semblance of betting sanity. Like last year I went complete donation for 2 weeks. Like I don't know, like I'd go 3 4 days without hitting anything. Then like recklessly too, like double, triple down. It's just like that's not there. Like I think I've kind of flushed that out. Like I'll just get irritated at the loser and move on. But yeah, this week was tough. Like sometimes it just sucks the fun out of it, you know? Like we do this cuz it's fun at the end of the day. And it's honestly it's not even about the money. Like of course you want to win, you want to make money doing it, but like it's competitive, right? Like that's
Yeah,
the best part. It's like hey, you're doing something to be good at it
to keep the
above all.
gears moving.
It's less about the money though, you know what I mean? It's like you want to be good at it. And it's not fun, going on a stream and saying, "Yeah, I'm the idiot who bet Pacific. Didn't bet him plus 60." You know what I mean? Like that's tough. Like you want to be good. Like makes you feel good. It's good for your confidence. Good for your credibility. Whatever. Yada yada yada. But yeah, sometimes it's roller coaster of emotions when you're betting poorly.
Yeah, that's really been the story of the last couple weeks. It's been tough sledding, but there's always tomorrow.
Yep, the sun always comes up, right? Until
It
the day
does.
it doesn't. Yeah, I don't have a sun not coming up plan. But I'm just thinking it's gonna be tough to write this blog this week because I'm the guy who writes the good, bad, the ugly column. If you like it, thank you. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. Um, it might just be bad and ugly. Like I don't know. NBA? Oh, there you go. That's
NBA.
good. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck. I got nothing.
I've got
Like,
a
whew.
I've got one thing I want to bring up. I texted you earlier this week about it, and this was like news to me. Like I didn't know that this existed. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's like, like everybody knows, like basketball, like D1 basketball team managers are like, you know, they look like us, like 5'10" white kids that probably played at a decent varsity level, but never played in college. They're just around to help the teams. I was told, and I don't know if you've ever heard this either. I didn't know this existed, but the team managers travel with the teams, obviously. But the night before games, when they travel, the team managers play like a pickup game the night before. And apparently there's
At
like
each conference tournament.
no, just during the regular season, like all year. So like Kentucky goes to Tennessee, the team managers play a pickup game against each other. Like Wisconsin goes to Purdue.
Where did you
I was
hear
told that
this?
my I have a coworker and former roommate of mine that was telling me about it, and he said he had an old friend that was a team manager at Wisconsin, and apparently like the team managers have rankings for like their conferences and stuff, and they just play
Oh,
each other.
that's awesome. It's like an offshore dark basketball league.
Yeah, and I would love to know if this is real or not. I still have no clue. He swears it's real, and the reason I bring it up is because it was somebody Kentucky played last. Who did Kentucky play last week? It was
Oh, Mississippi State.
it may have been that game. In the past couple of weeks, um, Kentucky had a home game against some other SEC team, and they went in, and like the players apparently go to these team manager games, and they like hype them up and whatever.
Yeah.
And it turns out, so like Kentucky has been winning all the SEC ones, and so they're like the best of the SEC team manager. And it comes out that the kids that have been playing as the team managers for Kentucky are actually walk-ons on the actual team. And so like there's kids that like are playing Division 1 basketball that are playing against team managers and just like running them out of the gym.
That's like doping for college basketball
It
manager
is.
league. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I kept asking him about it. I was like, is that actually real? He's like, I swear to God, it's real. So if anybody out there has heard of this, I need confirmation. Like I need to know that this is real. And if it is real, like I need to see it. I need to
I
figure out
want
how it
to
works.
I want another tournament for this with betting odds and like a betting market for it. Like you get the March Madness tournament, the NIT, the CBI, discount
And the
tire.
team manager,
Yeah,
the
I want
TMI,
like
the team manager invitational.
yeah, yeah, I want like have like some obscure cryptocurrency sponsor it, like the Litecoin Invitational.
We'll
They
sponsor
play,
it. I will
yeah,
sponsor this event if it is real.
and they got to play in like New Jersey or something. Just play at the rack. I don't know. That would be wild.
I need to know if it's real though, because I thought that was like the funniest thing. Like the fact that Kentucky is like the fact that it must be serious enough to where Kentucky is just letting the walk-ons play.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's almost like that's like steroid use. Like let the actual team
That's just
manager do it.
cheating.
Like the goofy kid who's 5'6", 110 pounds and can't dribble with his left hand. Like do it.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm sure
crazy
some of
though.
those kids like played at like a decent varsity level,
Oh,
but
for sure.
like
Like
it's probably
kind of
decent,
kind of
relative
have to
decent
know what's
basketball.
yeah, kind of have to know what's going on a little bit. But that's wild.
I
Could
love
you
it. It's
imagine like the Iowa manager like getting matched up against the Maryland Eastern Shore manager team? That would be crazy. And it turns out Maryland Eastern Shore only has two managers, so it's like a 4-on-2 game. That would be so cool. They sell the Iowa kid to play for the other team,
yeah,
and
they
then
do it
like
3-on-3. One of them gets traded.
yeah, that would be awesome. And then they've only played like 21.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
like a one
I'll
day
bet you that's
tournament.
what it is.
Yeah.
I bet that's. I need to know if it's real though, and if there is, I need video of it. Like,
I feel like that would be a thing in the South. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because all the weirdos are there. I'm just kidding. If you're from the South, you're not a weirdo, but you can be. Or your kin are. But I feel like that would be a Southern thing. I don't know why.
I mean, the story is SEC, so obviously the SEC takes it pretty seriously. But I've heard that the Big Ten does it too. I've gotten tipped
Huh.
off that Wisconsin does it, so the Big Ten
If
must be involved.
if only Kentucky would like take their actual basketball as seriously all the time, they'd be really good.
If only Coach Cal knew.
Oh, he knows. He's probably
He's
got
got
some
to
skin in the
know.
game too. Like, imagine Rick Pitino doing that. It'd be like strippers and cocaine at the damn party, at the after party. Yeah, we just won the old ACC manager rec league game of the year. Just beat North Carolina in a thriller 21-19.
It's like advanced intramurals.
Or not advanced.
Yeah, we're not advanced.
we're not going to go that direction, but like it could be not advanced. It could be remedial, right?
It could
Remedial
be.
intramurals. Kids can't tie their shoes. I don't know. Like we could have a little bit too much fun with that conversation, but that's insane. I didn't know that.
I like I said, like I have zero confirmation. This is all on word of mouth, but I need somebody to confirm. So if anybody in the that's really close to the college basketball realm, please tell us. I love it though. I need to get eyes on it if it's real. I need somebody sell me a ticket. I'll sit courtside for $20.
I went to a UC San Diego game. I can go watch that anywhere, anytime, anywhere. I'll do it. Seriously, there was like 100 people in that gym.
The good old Big
Good game
West.
though. Yeah, UC Riverside. It's a good game.
Only televised in that area of
I was
California.
on the ESPN Plus feed. Like we were sitting at center court on the other side of the like you could see everything. It was cool. I was like, hey, there's me looking like 20 pounds overweight in my sweatshirt. My girlfriend's like, what are you doing here? Like, why are we here? Like,
I have to.
yeah, San Diego State was out of town. Like, our flight got pushed back a day, and I wanted to go see the Aztecs play Wyoming. And then University of San Diego was on the road, WCC play, so didn't go to that one. So it's like, well, we'll watch some Big West basketball. Ironically, not Big West, Little West.
Little West.
Yeah, Little West. But
Well, that's our show, folks. I mean, not a whole lot to recap this week, so hopefully we'll have a little bit more to talk about next Sunday.
Well, yeah, nothing more.
always-
Like, yeah, we could spend hours complaining, but
I
I don't
could.
know if
I'd
that
rather
would be
not.
received very well. Yeah, no, let it go.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Go find us there at Overdue Sports. Go check out our website, overduesports.com. We'll have a bunch of stuff coming out this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. We got a lot of college basketball conference videos out. Make sure to check those out. Maybe take our advice. Maybe don't. Who knows? Some of our takes have been pretty good so far. So we'll take what we can right now.
Yeah, we haven't had too many glaringly bad ones. But
No,
we're
not
still
really.
waiting. Jake is still waiting for Gonzaga to play because they'll play in 3 to 5 business days. But I'm still waiting on that one. But I don't know. We hit Longwood or like I guess like we didn't bet too many of these, but like I guess the saving grace is. Oh, there you go. That's a good section. We didn't look like complete morons half of the time when we were doing those conference tournament previews.
That's
Like
true.
let me look at the list real quick.
We called out most of the 1 seeds that went down too.
Yeah, like we both said we didn't like High Point.
Yeah, both were not on Eastern Kentucky.
I bet I laid the 8.5. But like I mean I wouldn't have bet them to win. I lost North Florida, did a little future on them. They were like 25-1. Kind of sold it against Austin P. Oh, was that Austin P Stetson game, the conference championship?
Yeah, Stetson won. Stetson
Yeah, I saw a lot of people on Stetson. That's a good bet.
Yeah.
A lot of smart people on Stetson, which was crazy because they were horrible down the stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look good this week, though.
Yeah, we kind of laid an egg in the Horizon League. You
big.
liked, yeah, I didn't like it as much as you, to be fair, but I
True.
didn't. Yeah, I was like, I don't hate it by any stretch. It's not like you said, oh, IUPUI is going to the championship game. I would have been like, you're dumb. But I did like Milwaukee, the one game. I'm assuming they lost yesterday.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't see that score.
I have to imagine they drew like Cleveland State or something. But
yeah.
yeah, I did like that. Like it's like a long shot. Like, but nothing. I wouldn't have ever played that or anything. We did say Colgate for the Patriot League, but that's not really fair to pump our tires on because that one was fairly obvious.
We had Drake too, which 2 seed, but
yeah, like
we didn't like Indiana State to win it.
Yeah, for me it was one of those two. Like
Yeah.
that one was a true coin flip for me, anyways. I'm just trying to look. Cleveland State and Oakland are in the semifinal. for the Horizon League. Where's the other Horizon League? Milwaukee and Kentucky. Oh, Milwaukee's still alive.
They're still in it.
Final four. They got North Kentucky, and it's a short line. North Kentucky -1.5. I might have been right. I'm just kidding. There's no way they're winning that tournament.
No.
And I
Who
wouldn't say
knows?
no. I wouldn't say no way, but like, I wish I would have played it. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool if I played it.
That would have been.
'cause-
They were deep on the odds.
Yeah, it was like 25 or 30 to 1, and I kind of just threw it out there semi-seriously. Not seriously enough to do it, but hey, we didn't look stupid there. Sun Belt, we said App State or James Madison. I think they're both still alive, even though App State was scary if you did.
They
bet
were.
App State.
JMU plays Texas State today, which will be interesting. It's 7:30.
Yeah, Texas State's kind of a clunky.
They're hot right now.
Yeah, can play well, can play poorly. Big South, we liked Western Carolina, or is that the Southern? I always mix those two up.
That is the God.
Well,
That's the one that
regardless.
Samford is in, yeah.
Yeah, regardless, we liked Western Carolina. They lost
They
to
got bounced
Samford.
last night.
Yeah, did they
They lost to
play?
Furman. They lost to Furman last night. Samford won today.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. We were both kind of out on Furman just because of the recency bias. So that one wasn't very good. The Ohio Valley. Trying to think of who we liked in that one. That was kind of a weird one. Like, is that Morehead State and Tennessee Tech, all those teams? UT Martin.
Morehead came out, so.
Okay, that's not a shock there.
No.
NEC, that one's probably done too, right? Was it Wagner?
I don't think it's done yet. I don't think. Is it? Is it done? No, the championship game is on Tuesday. With Merrimack and Wagner.
Okay, so Merrimack. We were all.
I believe
over
we said
Merrimack.
Merrimack. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be Merrimack. WCC, Gonzaga, or I think you said you kind of liked Santa Clara.
Yeah, I like Santa Clara as the long shot there, and they won yesterday.
So it's like St. Mary's, San Francisco, Gonzaga.
It's the top four.
Yeah, shocker. But it's gonna be Gonzaga. I'd have to imagine. If it's not, I'm in piss. Vermont's on track. Did Lowell end up winning yesterday? I know it was really close.
That's also a good question. I don't
know. Bryant beat Maine. That was surprising.
Bryant did beat Maine. UMass Lowell won yesterday against Albany by 9, so they play Bryant on Tuesday.
Yeah, and that will be. We're on a fast track for that one. Vermont beat you Albany. Vermont beat you Albany, and Lowell beat UMBC. That was a little scare for them though. UMBC played really well.
Yeah.
So that one we're on track for. We don't have to go through all of them. Just trying to talk about a couple other things before we sign off. I don't know. I'm sure McNeese is gonna roll through today. Right, that's today, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Big Sky, don't really care. Summit, don't really care. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else, Will?
That's it. Make sure to check us out on all the platforms that we mentioned. That's our show, folks. We're out of here.
I'm molded in these blueprints. Same place you parked your car. And you were always out to get me back then. We would play too hard. Lost in my back pocket.